Hello and welcome. Well, today we've got a Makita 18V LXT lithium-ion battery, which is showing absolutely no voltage. There you go, not a volt in her. So, can I bring this battery back to life? You see it's showing the train coming lights. And this is futile putting it in this, by the way, because it'll go beep, 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 and flash green and red alternately. Yeah, as predicted. So we've got to get her open and see if there's anything we can do. Right, to get this open, because this has never been opened before, down one of these holes, see if we can see it, there's like a little white tab covering the screw. That's like an anti-tamper tab that the Makita put into these, so that you can't get it open. The rest of them's just got the ordinary T10. You can screw them out handy enough, like, just with a T10 Torx. Easy enough, but this one's different. There's always one on these, and the simple way to get that out is with a wood screw. I'm using a 3-inch Diagnosing screw. You don't have to use one like this, but just as long as it's just a wood screw or something like that, there you screw that down into the wee white tab. Get it right in there, a good sharp screw down in there, and then when you have that down in there, just get a pair of pliers or something and give it a little lift out like that. And that removes that security tab. Makita put that in there just to if they get the battery back under warranty and that's gone, they know it's been tampered with. You know, this one's well past the warranty stage anyway. So we've got nothing coming through the top of the board. That would tell us maybe that the whole battery pack is kaput. It might not tell us that, but that's one of the possibilities. It might tell us that the cells have all zero voltage in them, you know. So to verify if these cells are all dead, I have to do another volt check. I'll use my bigger multimeter. It might be a bigger screen, might be easier for you, the viewer, to see. So we'll see how it goes. Go from positive to negative, I suppose. There's 3, 4. Oh, it's not dead anyway. We could have just have a board failure here. Complete board failure, I would say. 341. And if we switch them round to the positive and negative in the second bank of cells, $341. Again for the third bank, 341. Perfectly balanced so far. This is looking like quite a good pack, you know. It just looks like it needs a little circuit board. That's perfectly balanced. Now if we measure the top again, positive, negative, we're getting nothing. So we've got a complete board failure, and you know, that's good news and bad news. The good news is all the cells are perfect. The bad news is we've got to just replace the board. And I have a board that's near enough similar, it's just a different colour. Everything else is virtually the same. Obviously it's an aftermarket board and hasn't got this they've got this protection on it there to stop it getting wet, and that was actually a good thing, but it didn't save this board. This board actually fried, so it's over. It either one or two things happen. The board either fried, or it's what they call planned obsolescence, when a company wants a thing to last a certain amount of time and then shut down. So it could, these boards probably have a shutdown time that they just stop working and you can't use them after that because they're kaput. So without further ado, we'll just go and get the board off here. Get a little screwdriver and take out these two screws first. I'll try and remember and put a link to this here in the description and pinned in the comments section. so you can get one yourself if you want to attempt this. I will have to remind you that battery repair can be dangerous, and if you're not experienced or not confident, maybe it's to be avoided. But I'll just do the job anyway, and you can decide for yourself. I'm putting a bit of flux on these connections to desolder them. Remove the old board, you know. I'll tell you what I do as well. This battery indicator, there'll be nothing wrong with this battery indicator, and I'll not disturb this part of it if I can. We can keep this white part on. I'm going to just take the battery indicator off, the one I have, and use the original. So I'm going to desolder everything. And that is the plan. See? Need to be careful with cross connections. You do get away with quite a lot. You know, everybody gets alarmed when they see a spark and a lithium-ion battery, because lithium-ion is considered a volatile substance, you know. It's amazing what you get away with. Not that I'm asking you to take any risks, because I think, you know, in the society we live in, you know, risks always evaluated, and there's always risk assessment and jobs and all these things. I think that risk's nearly a personal thing, you know. It's nearly up to yourself as far as I'm concerned. It's up to the individual. I would prefer, you know. If somebody's an adult, they're responsible for their own carry on, I think. Just desoldering all these connections. Try to get underneath there. Come down firmer than ever there. There we are. That dries off, cools off. Oh, that's actually worked out good. That actually came out of the holder. That's what I wanted to happen. That'll make this easier to get off now. Probably better cutting that off anyway, and I'll show you why. Because you see, the one on the board that I'm using is in a different location, so I'm going to have to make a strip for that anyway, so I might as well just cut that off. No, it came off anyway. That's it off. So here we go. Old board off. That's now obsolete, so we'll put that to the side for recycling, and we'll attempt to fit the other board now. So here we are. That will not matter, because that will have to be adapted. I'll try and clean these other points maybe, because there's existing solder in them that will need to come off maybe. I'm going to lift it off. The existence, whew, we didn't want to do that. We got away with it though. And with existing solder, like I was about to say before I interrupted myself, gets in the way of the new board going on. And I'm going to keep all this in the video, all these little supposed errors, not to give the trolls a field day, which it will, but to show people the actual perils of this kind of carry on, or what, you know, how this is not just, You know, sometimes I see repair guys doing videos and they make it look so simple, and you can do that. You can do that every video due to nice let's call it creative editing. Creative editing, they'll call it. You can make every repair look simple just with cutting out all the stupid parts when you made the mistake and you put the thing on backwards, or you sparked the battery, you know. I know other repairmen and there's this platform that are doing that, doing nice little clean repair videos. They're not keeping it real, to be honest. They're not. It's kind of a con, you know, on their part. So we'll put in the screws and that'll hold the board down. Well, I'll probably need to make that connection first, but I'll put the screws in to hold it in place a little bit. Have to make a connection there, and I want to make a good strong connection because that connection does be under pressure. If you go in weak knuckle strip, it really does burn out at times. So I'm going to use a part from a nice part of bit of nickel from. This is actually from a DeWalt board. This is the actual stuff. So really like go up through like that, you know. You bend this the right shape and put it in there. And it still has the capacity to burn out too if an overload does occur, so it is totally safe. So I'll just repurpose that. Needs to be cut a different size. We'll do that. It's about right there, I would say. That's about right. Yeah, we'll get the screws on now. We can trim that to suit. Oh, I made a slight error there. I made a slight error there that would come back to bite me later on. I do this for the solder down the board. Yeah, we'll have to put that on there as well. We'll put the battery indicator on. It has to be in place, as well as all the other stuff being in place. Nearly messed that one up. Yeah. Let me get that sawed off later. Anyway. Here we are. Should just about get away with that one. There we are. It's time to connect everything up and make it all work. Number one. Need to try and clip that off some way, handy. These little flush cutters might do it. Oh, we don't want to do that. There we are. Yeah. A little bit more for good luck. And here. Use the bigger stuff. That one. We're nearly there. All we have to do is take off the old battery indicator board and put on the one that's there. Something. We're getting the light there, so that's a good sign. But anyway, we'll take off this board and put on the old one. That's it off. There's a bit of microsurgery now. Just There was ever a time this fake internet doctor needed a nurse. Now he's probably at, you know. I don't know. There's one. The existing solder should be good enough for that, so that's that one. Yeah, it's working too. So that's pretty good. So that's the board fitted. So we just put this back together and see if it takes a charge. it back together and showing one light, so that's pretty good. A quick volt check reveals 16.8, 16.9, look, 16.8 we'll say. The next step is to try it in this charger to see. You remember it was flashing the two lights last time? Yep. Music to my ears once again. So I'll leave this to charge now, and I'll come back in an hour or less, because this is probably a 9 amp fast charge. This is the rapid charger, so it'll charge it pretty quickly. So here we are 45 minutes later, and we're showing 4 bars, and we'll do a little volt check just to see how well this battery recovered. We're looking for over 20 volts to get a fully balanced pack. Yep, 20.2. That is entirely perfect. And to complete the test in true style, try it on a drill. Ignore the noise of the drill, that's just the drill. But anyway, that's fixed. I'm calling that fixed. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and check out my channel for all my other videos. If you're interested in any of the stuff I used to repair this battery, including the PCB board, I'm going to try and put links in the description and put in the comment section. Check out my other videos if you can, and leave a comment if you so desire.